Okay. Okay, David, you do me a Facebook. Thank you. Yeah, well, I don't care. Whatever.
I'm trying to tell Steve to bring up my pen, so 3, 2.
Well, good evening, America, and welcome to the most diverse conversation. I'm having difficulty here. David, right now, please. Welcome to Gay Town Hall. This is the most diverse conversation in America, and we're very excited to bring to you tonight, I think, our 37th episode or show of Gay Town Hall, or maybe it just seems to, working with these lions, that it is. But this is the most diverse conversation in the LGBTQ world. Tonight, we will discuss how Florida will be key to deciding who our next president is. The LGBTQ community not caring enough about the environment, and how big a deal is it that COVID-19 has forever changed the way we approach LGBTQ events and how we fit into society? Have we been assimilated? In just one more sentence tonight, we're going to talk about Chris Evans' dick pic. Oh, it's been a great week for me, a great week. And Donald Trump seeming like the village people more than him liking the village people more than us gays do. And a London home that is 5 foot 5 inches wide selling for $1 million. Is LGBTQ sex getting very complicated during pandemic? We're going to discuss it, and I can't wait to hear what Amber Taylor says about that. And the tragedy of the year, there are going to be no peeps for Christmas this year. And because we're gay, by Christmas, we mean Halloween. So now, something totally unique, an interactive platform for LGBTQ conversation with interesting individuals from our community, these topics and your ability to participate. And we found something completely new, and it's all live for Thursday, September 17th, 2020, next on Gay Town Hall. I really want.
Social needs to be turned on for Facebook.
We really want everyone to sit in this for one show, just one show.
Joe Biden will be making his first stop in Central Florida as the Democratic nominee.
The press all tell the same story.
Okay, and the teleprompter says in the next segment, this is July 30th. Well, welcome back, America. And before we introduce our host, I just would like to remind you that this show is aired live. Anything can happen, and already it frequently has, and it's going to be a lot of fun because it is live. And so we want to tell you, first off, I'm your moderator tonight, Al Ferguson, and this is Gay Town Hall for Thursday, September, whatever the date is, I can't remember off the top of my head, 2020. So let's meet first this amazing cast. Let's begin with my friend. This is Power Infinity. He's a hybrid DJ diva and lives in Lakeland, Florida. Good evening, Power.
Good evening, Al, and good evening, children. First of all, I apologize for Al talking all over the opening, as you guys probably heard. But let's talk about what's on my mind. In this COVID era, I don't like the fact that my chances of survival really are linked to the common sense of others. So that's what's on my mind.
All right, and next up is Reverend Dr. Darrell Watkins. He is a senior pastor of Sunshine Cathedral, the world's largest queer church. He lives here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Good evening, Darrell.
Hi. What's on my mind this week is, first of all, I started drinking early today, so I hope I can make it throughout the show. But also, what's on my mind is compassion, because with all the fires and COVID, we really, really, really have to start giving a damn.
All right. And next, we are welcoming Matthew Sackman. He's a business entrepreneur and creator of Gaytown Hall and lives here in Hollywood, Florida. Good evening, Matthew.
Hello, my dreamers, believers, and entrepreneurs. What's on my mind is, first, I want to give a congratulations to the biggest animal shelter in Palm Beach for being able to find homes for all the animals. And being that said, I think I might be investing in a pet. Hi, Napoleon play.
And this is Houston Cypress. He is a two-spirit gay Native American and lives with the Miccosukee tribe of Florida and right in the heart of the Everglades. Good evening, Houston.
Salutations to Turtle Island, otherwise known as America. On my mind this week is that there are responsible LGBTQ pride festivals, and the one that I'm talking about is Celebrate Orgullo, October 1st through the 15th. Check it out.
And very happy to announce that Gaytown Hall and all of the platforms of Happening Out Television Network are going to be supporting that Pride Festival. Next up is Dr. Ty Hauser. He is a progressive college professor from Wilton Manors, Florida. Welcome, Ty.
And good evening, everyone. On my mind this week is the fact that the very first step of digestion is mastication.
All right.
I love that. I don't know why, but I do. Next up is John Holtz. He identifies with non-culture definitions, perhaps even anti-culture. He lives in America's largest gay campground, the Sawmill in Dade City, Florida. Good evening, John.
Good evening. What's on my mind is kind of shocking, but wouldn't it be horrific if Donald Trump became a worldwide dictator and it was the complacency of the American people that allowed that to happen? The egomaniac is sitting on the top of the most powerful military in history.
That's not gonna
And
happen.
next up is Ross Aroni. He is an actor and a theater drama queen. And oh my goodness, are you going to find what a theater drama queen he is tonight? Living in Lantana, Florida. Good evening, Ross Aroni.
Good evening. What's on my mind is just how much lobster is too much lobster? Is there a limit? Sources say probably not.
And I've got to give you some context, America. He's right now in Maine. How long have you been in Maine, Ross?
Well, what year is it now?
Okay.
President.
Pretty much president. And next up is Taisha Best. They are asexual and polyamorous, using the pronoun them. A flight attendant living right here in Wilton Manors, Florida, but currently in California. Good evening, Taisha.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome aboard. What's on my mind? Well, I just found out Donald Trump has announced the 1776 Commission alongside a patriotic education proposal, and I think it's just a counter to the Pulitzer Prize-winning 1619 project to silence any negative narrative of U.S. treatment of Black people.
Every time Taisha begins to speak at Gaytown Hall, I want to know where the emergency exits are. This is Elimination Onyx. Up next, he's a sex-positive leather pansexual. Gosh, I love that combination of words. It's just beautiful. From Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Good evening, Elimination.
Hey, Al. Hey, Kinky Humans. On my mind this week is 57 years ago.
Elimination, you might be muted. No?
Can you hear me?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Now we can hear you.
Well, what's up? Hey, Al. Hey, Kinky Humans. Second play. Hey. So 57 years ago, 4 little girls lost their life in the church. Denise, Cynthia, Carol, and Addie Mae. But what's never talked about are 2 little boys who were killed the same day just for riding their bikes. So let's remember Virgil, Burr, and Johnny Robinson.
All right. And next up is Amber Taylor. I had lunch with Amber this week. It was lots of fun right on the beach. She is a feminine lesbian with, big dick energy. She lives here in Wilton Manors, Florida. Good evening, Amber.
Thank you so much, Al. Don't fear my big dick because it is placed right into my waistband safely where it can't hurt anyone. My concern this week is the mental health of my fellow LGBT family. I hope you guys are okay. COVID is hard. Dating is not easy during this. I totally understand. And we're here together, and you have someone to reach, whether it's me or one of our panel. We're happy to talk to you. And don't let yourself get to the point of hopelessness where you feel like you don't have anyone to talk to, because we're here.
That's right. And next up is Denise Spivak. She is the CEO of Centerlink here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Good evening, Denise.
Good evening, Al, and good evening, everyone. On my mind this week is the passing of Henry Van Ameringen, who was one of the really top superstar philanthropists for the LGBTQ community. He was a true force, and he will be missed.
Excellent. And next up is a guest tonight at Gay Town Hall, and that is Angie Oz. She is a single lesbian, a marketing specialist, a film creative, and an activist with what I've read is psychic tendencies. And because she's reading my mind right now. She lives here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Good evening, Angie.
Good evening. Thank you, Al. I actually live in Boynton Beach in Palm Beach County, but good evening, everyone. What's on my mind is what @StoneCold2050 on Twitter had stated, that the El Dorado fire, which was visible from Idlewild, California, started by a gender reveal party, which is a whole rabbit hole of conversation to be had.
Excellent, and welcome to Gay Town Hall. And this last person, you've probably, not last but least, no, I'm sorry, not least but last. No, I'm sorry. Good friend of mine that you haven't seen for a while. This is Napoleon Plays. And he, along with Power, is an original cast member for It's Happening Out. He is from the leather community. He's a leather community pup. And he is an LGBTQ lifestyle expert and was a founding host, as I said, of It's Happening Out, Happening.Fun, and Queer News Tonight. Good evening to Napoleon, and welcome back to Happening Out Network.
And also my frame, because clearly I'm blurry on the screen, which I should not be. I'm much younger than you. I should come in clearer.
What did you do before you started?
Yeah, honey, it looks like some fog has worked its way up into your camera lens.
Yeah, I think the Vaseline just works completely well. It's exactly what he does in Grind.
So we'll make sure everyone's ready for the next weeks when Al gets put down into his place. It'll be a good time.
Okay. All right. Well, welcome to the show tonight, Napoleon. In America Tonight, we introduce, of course, our most unique host, and that is you. This is the most popular show that we're doing, and as a result, David Hopkins is representing you as he moderates for Facebook in the comment thread. He can bring your comments onto the screen and can place you in the live conversation with these hosts and our discussion. We encourage you to participate in the thread and tell us what you think. Welcome, David.
Hey everybody, thanks for participating. I also want to thank Sean Roman, Jabab Carlos, Alex Fairbear, and Catalyst Onyx, who are already participating with us.
Hey, Alex.
All right, well, let's jump right into the show tonight with our first hot topic. Florida, as you know, is the prize of the battleground states. LGBTQ is one of the key communities whose turnout and who they vote for will determine the fate of the election. Watch this.
As the presidential race is heating up, Joe Biden will be making his first stop in Central Florida as the Democratic nominee. The former vice president is set to hold a Hispanic Heritage Month event in Kissimmee this evening.
It's very important. It's very, very important for the Hispanic people.
The stop comes after President Trump spoke with Latino voters at roundtable events in Arizona last night and Las Vegas on Sunday.
It's a good thing. The Hispanic population is getting a lot larger, so you have to compensate for, what's real.
Well, there are so many issues going on in the Battleground Prize. And this is also one of the largest LGBT communities in this state in the United States. No model shows that Donald Trump can win the election without winning Florida. He is a resident with his home now just 1 hour from this studio. Former Democratic governor candidate Andrew Gillum comes out bisexual this week, including the scandal with drugs and male strippers. A new poll shows Biden's dramatic weakness among the Florida Latinos, especially the South Florida Cuban community. So hot topic number one tonight is called Florida, Florida, Florida. Will be the path to a Biden or Trump win. What do y'all think?
Well, I think the answer is Florida, Florida, Florida. Because if anyone can fuck something up, it's Florida. So that's why we all need to get out, make sure our friends vote. Actually, I have a neighbor who is a travel nurse and he's out of state for the next few months. And I texted him this morning and I'm like, bitch, did you get your mail-in vote yet? And he's like, oh no, I got to do that. So we got to make sure that we get out and vote.
It's very important, but how many Republicans live in Florida versus Democrats? I mean, it's super, super close. Most of Florida, if you drive through it, is just country and cows and good old-fashioned people that vote for Trump. So I am disturbed by it. I do think that he has a possibility of winning here just due to all the
I know
country.
in the past, I have been an experiencer of voter suppression where they pretended my entire district was closed off, where votes from my county in Palm Beach were not counted because they had to be counted a second time and it did not go through. And therefore they were just left in the closet and they were not votes that counted. I have very little faith in Florida voting because we do not put the infrastructure into it. And unfortunately that
Or the officials.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that means that our battleground state is only going to be given to those who can put a little bit more money into it or who just don't care enough and come out on top at the beginning.
Whoever can cheat the best will win.
The last
I'm
poll.
very excited about. I'm very excited about this election because for me, it's going to be the first presidential election that I've ever voted in, and not because I've been remiss, but because I am a new citizen. I became a citizen in 2017, but I am concerned about the Latino vote because, of course, Florida is heavily populated by Latinos, and there's a lot of Latinos that are going for Trump, which I just do not understand. I think that a Latino for Trump is like a gay for Anita Bryant, a black person for the plantation, or a Jew for Hitler, which I actually researched this week and found out there actually was an association, a German association of Jews for Hitler. And coincidentally, Hitler rounded them up and put them in concentration camps. So this should be a stark lesson to be learned. When you vote against your own self-interest, it usually comes back to bite you in the ass.
Yep.
Right, and Power brings up a great point, and I just want to give some statistics here. About 64% of Cubans and 76% of Puerto Ricans actually identify as white. So though the Latin population is very much a ground state for Trump, he also probably realizes that because they see themselves as white people, that they are more than likely going to align with white issues versus actual people of color issues. And I say that because one of the biggest issues, especially in the Latin population, is being pro-life. And a lot of the Latin population is single issue voters. So unless they want to come into that reality that, for instance, Puerto Rico continuously and in a patternistic behavior does not get funding from FEMA every time they have a disaster, it should tell them that though they see themselves as white, America does not. And so they should align themselves with people and consider themselves a marginalized population, which they don't right now. So again, as Power says, they're voting against their own self-interest. And it's because they have that mindset of they are white. And
Let me wait.
of
Hold on,
things.
just one sec, John. And John, don't forget what you were going to say. Let me provide some reality to this conversation. Let's say that we totally hate what Trump and the campaign represents. Let me ponder the observation: who cares?
Yeah.
They don't care of whether they're right or wrong, or whether it's truth or a lie. They don't care. And because they only care about getting reelected, they are slicing us, the LGBT community, the Latin community, women, the Black community. They're slicing us up left and right because we're talking about what is right, and they don't care what is right. And so as a result, they're going to kick our asses because they don't care how they're going to get there. So either through voter suppression, through mail-in voting fraud, through misdirection in COVID, or lie after lie after lie, he's going to win the election because he's just going to outlast us because we're focusing on truth and they go, we don't care.
But Democrats
and then most people don't even show up. Like we've had so many elections that the voter turnout has been so low that most people don't even show up. So as much as we make arguments or encourage people, are they going to show up? Are you going to take your friends and drag their asses to the poll? Let's see about that, because most people just do not show up.
And what we already know is we're mostly not going to do that. We're
so
just not going to do that.
The last good poll by a good pollster had Biden up 5 points in Florida. And the Cubans are breaking slightly for Trump, but the Puerto Ricans are breaking slightly for Biden. And so when Biden comes down, he'll bring his numbers up among the Latinos. But the Latinos, and I think Taisha is right, a lot of them see themselves as white. And so if we fall into the Trump trap of making this Black versus white, or colored versus white, or privileged versus not privileged, we will lose the Latin vote, because that can't be how we split up. It's got to be a different angle that we split up on.
And
go ahead.
Yeah, and let's not forget that Bloomberg is throwing a shit ton of money at us right now. So things could change if that money is used properly.
So can
I definitely think just a side note to what John is saying, I definitely think that if Biden was to come down and actually, it's not necessarily a Black and white issue, Black versus white issue, but he should address the immigration issue and the children in the cages issue. And though people don't want to constantly pull the race card, that is a strong issue outside of that one voter issue of pro-life. I think he will have a lot more success with the.
There's also one other issue.
You can also pull the hysterectomy issue now.
There's also one other issue that's big for Latins, and it is the fear of socialism. And so the far left on the Democratic side is pushing a lot of the Latinos over to the right.
So can I just ask a question? I mean, we always talk about these polls, but I've been a voter since I was 18. So, a good number of years. I've never been selected for a poll. So I often question these polls and where the validity of any of these polls come from, first and foremost. And then secondly, Biden and, Senator Harris have been, they're here, they're reaching out. But again, it's all about the power, and you're going to align yourself with people who you feel have power. And so because they're going to lie their way, because they have already demonstrated their way of cheating their way, because they've already demonstrated their way of not caring, those folks are going to either align with that, which they can fall in line with, or as Houston mentioned, stay home because they're fear of it's not going to make a difference. We have not been able to control them. We have not been able to herd them, and therefore, why bother? And so what we now need to do as a people, besides bring them in, we need to have these conversations that says, hey, this is what rules we have. This is how we can overcome. This is what's on the table. And and drill it for the next 45, 50 days, whatever it is, to remind people.
No.
Otherwise, we're stuck.
No. And I put it in front of you. Absolutely no. Donald Trump said this week, after the Woodward reveal, that he downplayed COVID starting January 28th, definitely by February 7th. He said this week in the ABC town hall that he didn't downplay it, he actually upplayed it. First off, there's no English word upplay. And then
I can
second,
confirm that.
he's going to repeat 10,000 times that he did not downplay COVID, and it's ultimately going to be believed. And a perfect example of that is in the Latin community. Have we forgot Mexico was going to build the wall? Have we forgotten the cages that we saw? The Latin community has forgotten what Donald Trump started
Okay,
with.
let me push back on what you're saying, Al,
Okay.
because Al, first of all, Al is he's doing what he's supposed to do, which is stirring the pot. He's playing the devil's advocate. But it really is all about which message is stronger. And the fact that you said, well, he's going to be believed. Yes, he's going to be believed by those who are dumb enough to believe him. What we need to push for, what we need to work for, what we need to hope for, what we need to fight for is that more people realize him as the Pinocchio president than not. So at the end of the day, when we go to the ballot box, more people disbelieve him than believe him. And I'm with elimination. I don't want to hear nothing about no motherfucking poll. I don't want to hear nothing about no motherfucking poll until election day. That's the only poll that matters. I already got and bamboozled in 2016 when I got my hopes up with them polls for Hillary Clinton, and look where that got us. So I ain't trying to hear nothing about no motherfucking poll.
Exactly true.
The only poll that matters is on election day. That's the poll I want to hear.
I mean, Power brings up, he's correct. And, the statistics I gave wasn't from a poll, it's actually from the census. So the facts that I give are actually from a poll. I think it is really important that we have to acknowledge history and the fact that, again, Puerto Ricans and Cubans do identify as white. And we also do need to ignore whatever polls, because again, it's not necessary that they are randomized polls. It's just based upon who picks up the phone and who doesn't, and how they're feeling at that time of the day. And up until the last election, the day before, everyone was feeling great and they were excited to go vote. And it could be, the weather the day of the election. It could be a flat tire. It could be anything. And relying on someone else to carry you and your state through for someone other than Trump is setting yourself up for failure.
I agree. And I think the issues are, he's going for the center, right? So he's going for, there's just a few people. The two tribes are split up. Most people know who they're voting for. There's just a small sliver he's trying to move. And then the other thing is, on our side, if we don't turn out, all these polls can be wrong, because you can say, I'm going to vote. But if you don't show up at the poll, then the poll's not going to work.
It's not a small sliver.
Wait, I'm sorry. Let's let that be the last sentence on our hot topic number one. But let's end by exactly that in terms of turnout. We all agree in the LGBT community that's important. And because Power has challenged us, because he loves polls so much, let's do a quick poll. And let's poll our host at Gay Town Hall. Here's the poll. And we ask just for a yes or no. Gallup is calling in asking for just a yes or no, please. Everybody ready? We all know that this is the election of a lifetime. The poll question is, will the LGBTQ community turn out in record numbers? That's the question, record numbers. Yes or no? Power?
No.
Darrell?
Yes.
Matthew?
He's praying for it. Look at him.
No.
Houston?
Yes.
Ty?
Yes.
John?
No.
Rossaroni?
Yes.
Taisha?
Nope.
Elimination?
Nope.
Amber?
I think yes.
Denise?
No.
Angie?
Yes.
Napoleon?
Yes.
It's an equal almost tie, just like what it is in Florida, just what many of the polls are predicting. 2016, he beat Hillary Clinton in Florida by 1.3%. And look how we reflect on our own community.
This is why we all have anxiety.
Yes,
Who in the
exactly.
wait a minute. Who
Sorry.
in the comments
All
said
right.
I got a poll?
I know, I saw that. That's fantastic.
We did that poll because Howard is so loving of polls. All right, let's move out of hot topic number 1 at Gay Town Hall. Tonight we have an interesting segment called Just One More Sentence. Tonight I'm going to give an interesting headline from this week, and all the Gay Town Hall hosts are going to weigh in by writing the story themselves. But there is a twist. They can do it in just only one more sentence. But combined, all of the hosts will tell the story in a hilarious, interesting, and even an entertaining way. So, what is it about? Let's do story 1. What is it about LGBTQ love of the infamous dick pic, especially if his penis is attached to a famous face? This week, LGBTQ America became breathless, and I have to admit, including me, when Marvel's Captain America accidentally released his dick pic at the end of a video he was sharing with the world on social media. So let's write the story just one more sentence. Chris Evans, headline, Chris Evans dick pic. His Avengers superheroes poke fun, and Captain America now says, now that I have your attention. Power, let's begin with you.
Well, America, I haven't actually seen the dick pic, so if anybody has it, please send it to me. I need it for scientific research. I need it for scientific research. Thank you.
Here for the public.
No, it's for gay research.
Darrell?
Oh, Chris, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me.
Exactly. Matthew?
This is the only time you'll ever hear me say, this is what makes America great again.
Houston?
You know, whether it's Pornhub using the access at the beginning of the pandemic or Chris Evans' dick pic, I think I'm all for using sexual energy for positive change.
Oh, great. Ty?
It's EVANS. Howard, what's your email?
Email.
Oh my God, that thing has girth. Bravo, Mr. Evans.
Yes, it did. Rossaroni?
Is this what we come to?
Yeah.
Searching for a dick pic that you can't find anywhere, then 4 hours later, around 5 a.m. at night, you decided to give up, but had to close about 3,000 windows.
Yeah. All you have to do
Is
is, Rossaroni, all you have to do is ask Ty to share it with you.
Oh, Ty, share with me right now.
Yeah, it's his screensaver now.
I need closure.
Taisha?
Urgency on that.
Well,
deal.
I just noticed in the comment section, Catalyst apparently missed the whole shebang, and that is possibly why there's no shebang for Catalyst today. So.
Exactly. Elimination.
America, girl, y'all go crazy for every Tom, Dick, and Harry picture. Vote. I'm sorry. Vote November 3rd. I meant to say.
Amber.
I'm gonna say I would rather see Dominique Jackson's tit pic than this dick pic.
There's the big dick energy. Denise.
I don't think this is what they meant by get out the vote.
Right?
That's good.
Even if it wasn't unintentional, much like the wardrobe malfunction of the 2004 Super Bowl performance with Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake, Chris Evans' dick pic created publicity, and most dick pics are unintentional, so I'm surprised this wasn't.
Yeah. And Napoleon.
I want to see it. Show me. I will pay you. I will fuck you.
Somebody put it in the comments so we can all view it.
I'm having a viewing party at my house.
Yes, after the show,
I'll bring the
everybody meet
popcorn.
at Ty's house and you'll
Totally,
get to see it.
totally.
All right, let's move on. Another just one more sentence. Perhaps no music group in history stereotypes the LGBTQ community more than the Village People. Go West was the San Francisco anthem to America. YMCA was about gay hookups, and then it was co-opted by straight weddings everywhere. But Macho Man, sung by an Indian, leather guy, policeman, and others more, was raw gay sex. Wink, wink. So Gay Town Hall was very surprised how it is being used this week. So let's write the story in just one more sentence. Headline: Donald Trump rallies refuse to stop playing Macho Man, to the confusion of, well, just about everyone. Power.
Look at that picture. What's up? he need to start playing something by Milli Vanilli with his fake phony ass.
And Darrell.
You know what? I think Donald misunderstood the lyrics. He thought the song was Nacho Man.
Good one.
That's good. And I love the orange reference. Matthew.
I had no idea that a pig was part of the YMCA group.
Houston.
You know, I think this just proves once again that queer culture leads and is fucking fabulous. So be queer and be fabulous, LGBTQ America.
That's right. Ty.
I would prefer that he just go with Amber's big dick energy.
Yeah.
I would
John?
prefer to, but I don't want him to win on the count of that.
This may be the best trolling ever by a unhappy Trump employee.
First of all, I want to blow my brains out each time I hear that song. I'm sorry. I hate it. Second, this is like his equivalent to going, look, I have gay friends. I'm not homophobic. I'm not homophobic.
Truth. Taisha.
I just have no understanding as to why anyone's confused, considering this whole entire presidency has been Trump listening to himself.
And elimination.
Said it.
Why are y'all confused? Y'all know he's a fisting bottom.
Amber.
Also that.
Amber.
I believe that about the bottom. But I think that his face has no ties to the LGBT community. They have no idea the context of this song. When they hear macho, they're looking up at Trump. They believe that he's that to them.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
This is
there's
real.
truth to that, and it's so sad.
I know.
Denise.
Next up on the Mike Pence playlist, I'm Too Sexy and the Complete Queen Anthology.
Right? Angie.
I believe Trump is not so subtly trying to relate to the LGBTQ community while simultaneously feeding his ego on being a macho man. Like, I roll much.
Yeah. And somebody that likes to be one of those drag queens in the Village People,
I
Napoleon.
really hope that we were paid for what he had to say today, because we definitely suffered a blow from his false accusations as to what he thinks that the LGBTQ community wants from him.
Yeah, it is definitely a stereotype. Well, let's move on to our hot topic number 2 tonight at Gay Town Hall.
Yes.
Climate change seems to be real, as this week we watched the largest wildfire outbreak in our entire history. We have the largest collection of active tropical storms at the same time ever. It was 91 degrees this week in Denver one day and 12 inches of snow in Colorado the next. Donald Trump says that science is not science. Watch this.
Fires, the tropical storms, even hurricanes, all captured on one satellite image. The National Hurricane Center is saying that Sally will be bringing life-threatening storm surge, hurricane-force winds, heavy rain along portions of the northern Gulf Coast starting today. Expected landfall is tomorrow in Louisiana, possibly a Category 2 storm. The governor of Louisiana already speaking out, saying that this storm was really unexpected. Look at all the flooding that it's already causing, what the National Hurricane Center noted too. This is down in the Florida Keys. We've been seeing several different videos and images already on social media of the flooding that they're seeing this morning. So we will continue to follow the latest.
Well, we hear almost nothing from the LGBTQ community on the science of climate. Many suggest, even with our politics and our COVID-19 pandemic, that climate, especially because of our rejection of science, showing the crisis is real from the president, which is what he said this week, is making us question if the LGBTQ community even cares about this problem. So hot topic number 2 for Gay Town Hall tonight is the LGBTQ community are not environmentalists, and it is not a major concern for us. What do y'all think?
You know what? I would like to
Yes.
no, you know what? I would like to say that sure enough, we've got to give a shit for sure. And a lot of us seem to be a little slow, to come to the party. But I would like to defend the LGBTQ community a little bit because we've been on the front lines of HIV, sodomy laws, marriage equality, religious abuse, queer teen homelessness, gay bashing, substance abuse. We've had a lot on our plate. We've got to catch up with procreative freedom and social safety nets and climate change, but we've been very busy. So yeah, we got to catch up, but it's not that we've been apathetic. We've been busy.
And we're a very small population, and we've been able to make some legislation happen. So I'm not disappointed in the LGBT community. I think they do care about the environment, and I think they're overall a lot more sensitive than a lot of people. So
Friends, I would totally have to disagree with this proposition about people not caring, because whether it's the Two-Spirit people with their traditional ecological knowledge or the scores of leadership that I find in environmental organizations across Turtle Island, it is predominantly LGBTQ people that are at the head of these nonprofits, these departments and organizations that are doing so much of the work that is advancing our climate change concerns. So I'm going to have to call bullshit on this statement and say that we do care. And come on up to Everglades. I'll show you what's up. The invitation's open.
The one thing that the LGBTQ community can do to stop climate change is to get out and vote and remove the number one problem, which is Donald Trump.
And do meatless Mondays. Meatless Mondays, guys. Like as a vegan animal rights activist and an environmental preservation advocate, I know I can speak on my behalf that, do meatless Mondays, do your part, because scientists are saying that the end of the world is near as we know it, and that we have destroyed over 60% of the rainforest within the past 50 years since 1970, mostly due to the overproduction of animals for mass consumption. And that is the leading cause of climate change, even compared to all forms of transportation combined. So, I mean, what's next? What can we do? And, I feel like that mankind is the virus of the planet. Humanity has become the cancer. So we get to go back to treading lightly on Mother Earth, or it's all gonna end for all of us, as we know.
There was a very important observation that was made during the pandemic, which is as soon as China shut down, the greenhouse gases, the pollution went down. And when I teach in Shanghai, I always comment to my students that I cannot see the sky, and they think I'm crazy. They're like, well, that's what it always looks like. It's like, no, there actually is blue sky out there somewhere.
Oh.
So there's proof that we can change. And the environment is more than just nature. The urban environment is just as important as the natural environment, and we require both. Hawthorne said, I think it was Hawthorne said, that we all need a bit of dirt to play in.
Yes.
Wherever that dirt comes from, we should play in it.
Ty, can I provide a reference to the LGBT community on the observation you just made? Perhaps the LGBT community doesn't necessarily see the great threat that we're in. The first time, to your point, that I went to China in 1990, I stayed at the Capitol Hotel, just blocks from Tiananmen Square.
I'm not as bougie as that.
And I was shocked. Okay. Beautiful hotel. And they had an oxygen bar. And in 1990, I had never heard of something like that. And what you did, it was all for international business travelers. You would go in to this oxygen bar, and there was no drinks being served. There was nothing being served in the bar except oxygen. And you sat in a chair and had an oxygen treatment for 30 minutes. And the reason is because the coal burning in Beijing was so terrible, even as far back as 1990, you had to have an oxygen bar. And the Chinese just went, what's the big deal? Maybe that's what our situation is in the LGBT community. We just don't see and recognize how serious things are before us.
Even with the when the quarantine first happened, I want to say within the first halfway into the month, you could see even small things, how much was already nature was reacting back. It was going, okay, let's fix this. Let's fix this. It was actually working. Like there was no boats in the ocean, like not many. And there was a huge difference. Huge difference. Like there was a snake crossing the road where there wouldn't normally be a snake crossing a road.
Well, I think it's important to note that it's juxtaposed to the economy, right? So when we shut down the economy, then we started doing better for nature. And so we need governments to walk that line for us. We need them to come in and make sure that industry does not pollute. Obviously in China, they can't do that because the people don't have control of the government. But here in the United States, we can do that because we have control of the government. And that's why voting is one of the most important things you can do for the environment, because only the government can push back business. They're the only ones.
Like there's a place in Lake Worth too that has a green building. That's
preliminary.
I find it interesting that
Sorry.
Houston Cypress had said, because that's actually the first time I've heard somebody in our community say that they recognize or see real active participation from our community. And that's interesting. I don't discount that. That's interesting and positive for me to hear, because in my world, in my circle, I don't see that. I mean, and to Darrell's point, I actually thought about this for the first time today and gave this some thought. And I was like, why don't I see more passion and more, activation when it comes to the climate in our community? And then I really thought about it and I came to the same conclusion that Darrell came to. I was like, but we have so much going on that it's not that we don't care. It's just that it just seems that the climate change is something that we all say, duh, of course there's a climate change issue, but right now we have like life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness. We don't want to get murdered. Our trans women are getting killed left and right. We just have these other issues that are so pressing that just seems to fall by the wayside. So it really is important.
It can't fall by the wayside because at a certain point it takes precedent over everything else.
I'm not saying it's supposed to fall by the wayside.
Agreed.
I'm just saying that I don't see it.
And that's typical human nature, right? Is long-term things fall by the wayside, and the thing that's right in front of your face is what you focus on. But once this gets in front of our face, it will be too late.
Exactly.
But I have to take issue with the idea. I have to take issue with the idea that the whole LGBTQ community doesn't put this as a priority. We're not acknowledging people that donate their time and their money and do things for the environment that maybe isn't out front protesting. Maybe it doesn't take the big ticket place on the billboards that HIV and other issues do. But I have to agree with John.
How are we not acknowledging it? Where do we need?
I don't know that we're not. Just because as a whole unified community, which again I will contest that we are not all unified and whole, doesn't mean that individually there are not people in our community that don't put this as a priority.
I really want to take this. I really want to take this statement, the last moment here. There is a professor at FAU that if you have not read her work,
This is going to be our last comment.
You need to go out and look her up. Jane Caputi is an ecofeminist professor at FAU, and she does amazing things with native voices as well as contemporary voices, and puts together amazing arguments about how we need to care for Mother Nature. Her most recent book is called "Call Ya Mother."
All right.
And great urgency.
I want to close. I'm sorry, in terms of time, I want to close our hot topic number 2, but I want to do another flash poll. And our flash poll again requires a yes or no. But let's touch base. Try to please be as honest as possible. Unlike many of the pollsters, probably that is going on as we're watching in politics. The poll for our Gay Town Hall host asked, will the LGBTQ community make climate change a major issue to participate in? Participating in it is the key phrase in this question. Yes or no? Power?
No.
Darrell?
No.
Matthew?
No.
Houston?
Unfortunately, no.
Ty?
No.
John?
I say yes.
Rossaroni,
No.
Taisha,
No.
elimination.
No.
Amber,
No.
Denise,
No.
Angie,
Please, yes.
Napoleon.
I think so.
Yes or no, please, right to the point.
Yes, I think so.
Okay, you've just heard. This is why we have a climate crisis. You just heard it.
Yep.
Let's move on to some additional just one more sentences. LGBTQ America loves Britain and especially everything Harry Potter. We all want to be members of the Order of the Phoenix. I have a full Harry Potter outfit. I'm such a geek.
Yeah.
We find out this week that the secret building in London is real. So let's write the story in just one more sentence. London's narrowest building, home, at just 5 feet, 5 inches wide, is for sale for just $1 million. And we're going to show you a picture of that. Power.
Yeah, it sounds pretty narrow, almost as narrow as J.K. Rowling's mind when it comes to trans.
Yeah.
Girl, yes.
Darrell.
Power took my word for word sentence that the narrow house reminds me of Rowling's narrow-minded views about transgender people.
All right. All right, let's pause a minute more that Darrell doesn't have anything. Let's let that sink in.
Great minds think alike.
I've only
Wow.
Matthew.
And just as a witness, I've seen the picture, Al. Yes, I know. I also saw Napoleon's cute Boy Scout outfit. But I'm sorry, this is too small for me. I'm gay. I like things big.
Yeah. Houston.
You know, in terms of the climate crisis, we need to downscale. I'm all for an architecture tiny house revolution, baby.
America, I just want to point out that's called cramming it in at the end. Ty.
This house is a very, very, very fine house. But there are no cats in the yard, but you know.
All right, and John.
It's the age-old question of girth or length, and this would say length is winning for $1 million.
Which wins for you, John?
No comment, Al.
Oh, jeez. You know this is a talk show, right?
Really?
Rossaroni.
Not a small house, it's proportionate. It's not the size of the house, it's how you live in it.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Taisha.
I just realized that there are still many sexual positions and sexual experiences that can still happen within a 5 foot by 5 foot space.
All right, now let's have a counterpoint of view for us bigger guys. Elimination.
Wait a minute. I don't think my Harry Potter will fit.
Amber.
So I've been a realtor for 10 years, and this is what we call location, 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 and highest and best use. You have basically an elevator shaft amount of space you made into a house in London. Congratulations. Sell it, honey. Sell it.
Denise, I mean, Amber, you had me at elevator shaft. Denise.
This cozy cottage up next on $1 Million Listing Godric's Hollow.
Yeah. Angie.
I'm unpopular opinion, not a huge Harry Potter fan. Do love the world and Islands of Adventure, but to piggyback off what Houston said about that tiny house movement.
Not being a Harry Potter fan. Thank you, Angie, for your last and only performance at Daytime. And Napoleon.
I was honored.
Napoleon.
I've got to say, I am very excited about the expenditure and the ability to move forward and grow. So I will be staying there.
All right. All right. So let's move into another just one more sentence. Sex is the central identification of the LGBTQ community.
Oh, thank God we're on
but in COVID-19, we have literally taken a hit with our sex life. However, we're gay. Did y'all know that we're gay?
Wait, is this a gay show?
Oh my God.
I know, shocking. I thought this was an English class at Liberty University. So we asked.
It could be.
No, I don't settle for that.
Have we given up our sex? Bathhouses, Mass, Grinder, random hookups, face down, ass up. So let's ask the story in just one more sentence. LGBTQ headline, sex gets complicated during pandemic. What's a girl or a girl to do? Power?
Well, we can wrap this up right now by just asking the expert, Napoleon Plays, because I'm sure he'll know what to do no matter what kind of pandemic is fucking up the world.
I would wrap them up and they would be my bitches.
All right. And Darrell.
Just a reminder that I work for Jesus, but we have rimmed and blown and fingered and licked and scissored and done seams and cuddled and tugged and inserted in spite of sodomy laws, AIDS, fundamentalist, and fascist. We will always find ways to celebrate our sacred sexuality.
Okay. And Matthew?
Any toy zero.
Well, I have a very beautiful backyard. Napoleon, if you'd like to come with me and check it out, I have no problem in showing you my wood.
Wait. We're in one more sentence. Houston?
Matthew's in one more thirst, but go on.
I've been having a lot of fun getting out as a young man, and I think it's been increasing my flirting game. So hey, I'm all for it.
And Ty?
I don't understand why they're saying sex is complicated. It's the same as it was forever and ever. I do the same thing.
And John?
My financial advisor says it's all about risk reward. So I'll take the risk if you give me the reward.
John.
And Rossaroni?
What? You keep saying sex like I know what it is.
Well,
let me show you. I'll show you.
Taisha?
I will be taking a page from Dr. Seuss and, in a boat, in the bathroom, on a plane, anywhere.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our sex positive pansexual leather guy, elimination?
Got lube, we'll travel.
And we're getting ready to watch some big dick energy. Amber?
Well, something tells me that everyone is just as horny as they were before March 15th, 2020.
Hell yeah.
Everyone's still going to find a way.
I had
to
lunch
get it
with
in.
you this week, I know. Denise?
Well, what are we talking about? I have no idea.
Angie?
Like John said, it's about the opportunity cost. What hit? I don't know. There's more time for some sexy time, baby.
Yeah, baby. I'm available.
And Napoleon?
I'm always horny. Say hi.
Always horny. Got it. Okay.
There you go, Matthew.
All right.
Let's
Let's
there you
move
go,
on.
Matthew.
This week, the LGBTQ community received seemingly never-ending list of events that have been postponed or outright canceled. Watch this.
I'll tell
We
the
are
same
not.
story. Closed.
Focus is getting ready to reopen for the partial reopen, whatever happens.
That's Matthew Ramone, who co-owns Urban Moe's Bar and Grill. Pride Weekend is normally their biggest moneymaker, but things will be much different this year with the cancellation of the parade and festival.
It's a major impact.
Whether it's gay days, gay cruises, rescheduled from previously rescheduled prides, White Party Palm Springs, there seems to be no end to the loss of our social events and our gatherings. This week, Mid-Atlantic Leather announced it has already canceled its 2021 event. What is happening in our community? Where is it going? And what's next? So hot topic number 3 tonight on Gay Town Hall is COVID-19 has forever changed how LGBTQ events are planned and how they're done. In coronavirus, we learned we don't need these events. We don't need them, as the gay community has been assimilated into the broad society. What do y'all think?
I think we do need these events. These events are part of what makes us part of the heritage we have developed. It's unfortunate because we haven't been known to have these kinds of events these kinds of ways of interacting with each other. And at this point, obviously COVID makes it not an option, but we want to be involved in the same way. It's very
No, I kind of agree with Napoleon is that we will bounce back. We will come together again. We will do these things again. We just have to figure out how to negotiate the space that we're in right now.
I disagree. I was gonna say, like, I feel like we don't need these events. Like, it's great that we have them. They're fantastic. But I feel like back in the Middle Ages, we were needing not to be caught and beheaded. So, you know, there's that.
Every community, though, every community has sacred rights particular to that community. And so I think that our sites and rights, they may have to evolve, but they will always be needed.
That's right.
Well,
as a nightlife industry personality on this, let me say, okay, these events are woven into the fabric of our community and of who we are.
Got it.
Yes, we don't need them. I mean, all you need to do is breathe and eat and be who you are and pay your taxes and die. But we definitely want them. They're part of our fabric. My concern really is not so much with the cancellation of these events, because some of these bigger events are canceled. But like for example, Florida right now, bars are open. Some of our other hosts may be coming from other places in the country where bars are open. And my concern is that our community is still not taking this pandemic seriously. So you're seeing bars open, and some of the bars are following the mandates that are given to them by the county or by the state. But like this picture that you're seeing here, this is what's happening in COVID. I mean, this is probably a pre-COVID picture, but if you go to some of the bars or circuit parties that have been thrown within the last few weeks, This is exactly how it looks. Like they don't give a damn, like what pandemic? So that to me is really what's concerning, because we keep that up, there's not gonna be any of us left to go to a party after this.
Yeah, we definitely haven't slowed down. I mean, Fire Island, Rehoboth, Sawmill, all of it's still going on. Florida just opened the bars 50%, and so Sawmill's opening their bars. So this has not slowed down, and we haven't assimilated, and I doubt we ever will.
Well, we have a little bit different culture. We have our chosen family versus our real family. And most of the gay community is with their chosen family most of the time. And those are going to be the same people that they'll go to a circuit party with, a white party with, gay pride with. And I don't think those things are going to go away. I think they're on pause. And a lot of them have been. I mean, a lot of the major parties that I would be able to attend as a lesbian, I don't know about a leather man in the man's community or anything, but I mean, I haven't been able to attend a lesbian party all year long. Aqua Girl, Girls in
Amber,
Wonderland, all that stuff was canceled.
Amber, I want to again try to refocus in terms of one of the central issues of the LGBTQ community. I don't think I don't think this is just a COVID question. I think the question is, we don't need these events because we can go to Las Olas or something on Hollywood Boulevard or something in Hell's Kitchen in New York that is a straight bar or straight event, and no one's going to object to wholesale participation from the gay community, and it's a straight bar, straight event, straight activity.
That's no substitute.
So no, your point is being made by Donna. Your point is being made by Donna. She said the events are more than a party. They're an opportunity with like-minded people to enjoy that connection. We owe it to ourselves. Donna has nailed it. That's exactly what it is.
Right. And you know,
I would just say this about what was going on before COVID. We were seeing gay bars starting to go out of business because we were assimilating in some sense, and the younger generations were just going to regular bars. So
I don't think
that is happening.
I don't think assimilating is the word to use. I think acquiescing to the current environment is a better way of saying that. I also don't think the LGBTQ is assimilating. I think they're evolving. We also need to talk about accessibility. The amount of accessibility that is derived from this COVID has skyrocketed. People like me who are either hard of hearing or queer who don't actually have many queer bars to go to, we've been able to create our own spaces and be more accessible to those who may have, again, sensitivity to noise and all of that stuff. And as someone who is a queer in the leather community, who is on staff with International Mr. Leather, I can tell you that IML, MAL, and all of those events create the iconography of the LGBTQ culture. It is impossible to remove those completely and still have what leather is as a culture. It is the archetype. It is one of the cornerstones of what makes the LGBT community the way that it is
But
today.
that's true. But International Male Leather has been down in attendance, and leather communities across the nation are falling off, and it's sad.
So International Mr.
no.
Leather has not been down on attendance because, again, I'm on staff and I have all of the figures, and we had our highest participated event last year. And again, it was due to accessibility, and me as social media coordinator of that event also saw those numbers go up, not only in person, but also online. So that is an incorrect statement.
And so let me also add to that, though. So yes, those opportunities are needed because as someone who did compete at IML, our class was so diverse. We had opportunity to show a different perspective of what IML is, and as the 41 class, not being able to share that to the 42nd class, to see the person coming behind me not be able to be on that stage, and for someone who can say that he made top 20, as someone who can say he made top 10, I had that only to be able to compare with 40 other classes. I wanted to be able to have that moment with 40 more behind me, and we need that because that's what we need to show what leather looks like now, not what leather.
I'm sorry. We're gonna have to let Elimination have the last comment there because of the time that we need to move on. We're going to continue to focus on this because we're still watching very significant cancellations. And the question here is it because the gay community can turn to so many other places beyond the issue of COVID-19? So we'll continue to discuss that. Let's move on to just one more sentence. No disrespect, I say in advance, no disrespect to Dr. Reverend Darrell Watkins, but you can keep your peeps for your Easter service. Christmas is coming, yeah, but everyone knows that gay Christmas is really Halloween. Did you know there are peeps for both holidays? We're going to show you a slide about it. But wait, what? There's going to be no peeps because of the problems of COVID-19. So let's write the story in just one more sentence. Headline: now this is finally a real crisis. As more pandemic fallout reports, no peeps for Halloween or Christmas. Power.
Well, see, this is where racial barriers and communication fuck a girl up, because whatever I had to say was, for Black people, peeps mean people. So I thought we were talking about people. Let's just move on, honey.
We're just moving on. All right, Darrell.
Halloween is the gay high holiday, holy day, but the candy that we most care about are in the costumes.
And Matthew?
I don't eat sweets, so I don't want to hear a peep about this.
And Houston?
I have no tears to shed for peeps because I am a candy corn diva.
Houston saying diva is just humorous in my head. I don't know why. Hi.
I don't come for peeps. I arrive.
Oh dear. Oh, you're going to regret that one.
I love it.
2020 just got real.
Yeah, absolutely. Rossaroni.
Regardless the holiday, you guys can keep your peeps. I'm still digesting the ones I ate in 1995.
Okay.
Aisha.
I am grossed out by Rossaroni, and I also fell into the black race card trap that Power did. So me and my peeps will be showing up to Halloween and Christmas. I don't know what the hell this topic was about.
That's right. Elimination.
Wait, you mean to tell me I don't get to play with something soft and round and gooey inside?
Amber.
Peeps are nasty. Everybody knows that's garbage candy. It's all about Skittles, Starburst, and Snickers, y'all.
Don't forget the Reese's.
Denise.
I'm lifting this directly from @Ashnat on Twitter. This is the last fucking straw.
Thank you for participating. Angie.
As nostalgic as peeps are, I'm a vegan, so I couldn't care less.
Oh, okay. All right. Very good.
Just sugar.
No, they're taking it.
Marshmallows, baby.
Marshmallows got animal stuff in them.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Let's do one more. Just
What
one more
about Napoleon
sentence.
Place?
Well, yeah. What about
We're
Napoleon?
having
Napoleon?
difficulty
Forget
with
about
his
Napoleon.
connection. His
Okay.
connection's faltering.
Napoleon went to play with his peeps. Napoleon went to play with his peeps. He'll be back at a later time.
All right. The LGBTQ community knows marketing. To us, it can sometimes be pandering and crass, but some do it better than others. And that is why we loved this week when Burger King announced a 2020 truce of sorts with its rival McDonald's. And the icons of the king and the clown were so excited that the Trump-Biden-like war that was going on between the two of them could find some common ground. Well, Pride marketing turned amazing because of it. So let's write the story in just one more sentence. Headline: Burger King celebrates Pride by having the mascot, ready, kiss Ronald McDonald.
Oh my gosh.
Power.
That is beautiful. And like most gay hookups, they never spoke again.
Yeah.
And Darrell?
I hear that next year that they're adding Colonel Sanders for a three-way.
Hell yeah.
Now you're speaking my language.
Matthew?
Now you know where the double stacker came from.
Oh dear. Houston.
That's good. That's good.
Pop culture and propaganda sowing divisiveness and fear. This is the kind of advertising I need. Thank you.
Ty?
I now know the recipe for special sauce.
Oh, John.
Not depicted is the international army of wage slaves that continue to make this cheap crap food.
All right, and
truth.
Thanks, John. Way to hit it in terms of the loveliness of that kiss. Rossaroni.
Ronald McDonald is going to call the Burger King back and tell him his ice cream machine is broken.
That's true. They do that. I order ice cream cones from there. It's the only thing I'll do. Taisha.
I think this is going to be the only time I see a mixture of cultures like that, because I would never have Burger King fries with a McDonald's burger. So.
Yeah. And elimination.
Who doesn't like a Whopper on their lips?
And Amber.
That's a double quarter pounder. I think America is ready to eat.
And that's funny. And Denise.
Hold the pickles, hold the lettuce.
Hold the pickles, hold the lettuce. Ooh, Angie.
Every queer 90s kid fantasy.
All right, well, that's our last headline that we're going to talk about tonight. There you have it, America. Something totally unique for the LGBTQ community. These amazing hosts and other surprise hosts that we are going to add that you haven't seen tonight. We'll be here every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. It's totally live and unscripted. You can participate. We are marching toward November 3rd, 2020, and the election of a lifetime. We've got so many issues on our plate: COVID-19, race issues, trans rights, your paychecks, your unemployment protection, our social and sexual interaction, and how the LGBTQ community fits into all of these issues. We are living the most important single moment of our entire lifetime, and it's all going to be discussed right here. Tell your friends and family, share this conversation, participate. We either are a community or we are not a community. You saw a lot of divided opinions here tonight on Gay Town Hall. You only need to look, however, into the eyes of this incredible diversity to see, sitting right in front of you, to know we are a strong LGBTQ community. We just have to remember we're a strong LGBTQ community. So thank you for joining us. And until next time, The conversation is just beginning. We'll see you next Thursday night at 8 p.m. completely live on Gay Town Hall.
Wow.
Peace out, bitches.
Hi, you're gay. We love you.
Wait, where's the poem? I need the phone number.
So thirsty.
All right, guys. Thank you all. Great show.
Girl, Matthew, go stick your head in.
Jesus.